Okay, so quick little video about the game we just watched. Obviously, I'll have a more in-depth version out tomorrow, but for now, here's a few thoughts. So Nick Nurse has this team grooving, and they look rejuvenized, is that the word to use? So some takeaways from this game. I'm not going to talk about individual performances necessarily yet, but I will just say the ball movement was something we've never seen before. I was actually watching on the Celtics broadcast, and Brian Scalabrine kept emphasizing how this Sixers team looks very different with the way the ball's moving and whether or not it's going to stay the same when Joel and maybe Harden comes back. But the point is that the offense looked great, the ball was moving, Kelly Oubre was a spark of energy, Patrick Beverley was Pat Bev offensively, he gave us quite a bit. But I liked the way the ball was moving, the offense wasn't stagnated, you didn't have one guy on the ball and four guys standing around. There was a lot of cutting, a lot of screen setting, a little bit of the Pat Bev, Kelly Oubre two-man game. But it's a breath of fresh air, seeing an offense which is dynamic and always moving and free-flowing. There's no kind of script or pecking order. Then again, Embiid was not playing, so it's hard to really judge, but so far so good. And one thing Nick Nurse has stressed is ball movement. That's what Danny Green and all the other guys who have played under Nick Nurse, they say ball movement is something he stresses so much, and it's definitely what I'm seeing as well, as well as firing up them threes. You know, today didn't shoot the best percentage from three, but it's preseason, that's not really what matters. But what I saw was some really interesting offense, like a lot of movement. I'm not going to say great execution yet because, to be honest, it was preseason and I don't really care if they missed 1,000 shots. But I definitely like what I seen. Defensively, the rotations were on point and the way they were just switching almost everything I kind of like too. But let's go on to some individual performances. Okay, I want to keep this short and simple. Tyrese Maxey looks special. Not just as a scorer, but he looks so polished. One thing I think I've noticed the most is that, forget him looking better in the pick and roll, Maxey has kind of developed this strength. We all know and you see the way Tyrese has always been able to go from 0 to 100. Well, now I feel like Tyrese has added 0, 25, 50, then 100. That adds another layer to your game where you can pull up on a dime for mid-range, which he's always had, to be honest. But it makes you more unpredictable and makes you more under control. Whether you're going to hit the skip pass on the drive, whether you're going to attack the basket, which he did many times, or you're going to pull back and step back for a mid-range. Tyrese Maxey looks good as a player, obviously, but honestly, from what I've seen so far, he looks like he's ready to take that leap. I can't say all-star because the East has Damon, kind of stacked in the guard department, but bro, I'm telling you right now, Tyrese Maxey looks special, and the development and leaps he's taken is just phenomenal, because it's like at the start of each season, you just see the growth. You're like, okay, cool, this guy's looking like this. You can see what he's worked on, you can see this, that, and the third, and it's a breath of fresh air to just have a guy who wants to get better, who's actively getting better, and you can see it in his performances, the work paying off. So Tyrese Maxey special. Jaden Springer, I was really impressed with too. Obviously, he had some weak takes to the basket at times, getting stripped a couple times, but that's not what he's there for. Jaden Springer won't be having the ball creating his own offense. What he did were the two things which is going to get him minutes this season. Jaden Springer defensively was an absolute menace. Active in lanes, that mean-ass block on Jason Tatum, just being a pest on the hip-hop defenders, making Jaylen Brown fumble the ball, and overall just having quick active hands, able to shuffle his feet, and just being that pest defensively, which we don't have. Obviously, I feel like just watching Drew Holiday play, Drew Holiday is the model of player I would love Jaden Springer to become. Same body type, even their shot kind of looks the same. Obviously nowhere near the level of Drew Holiday on either end of the floor, but that's the model of player Jaden Springer should aspire to become. But honestly, today, he looked great, apart from the block, obviously. Even hitting spot-up jumpers, he had one in the corner off a nice pass off Filip Petrusev. He had a few at the top of the key. So just, if Jaden Springer is able to just be a 3-and-D guard, that's going to help him carve out minutes. They may not be 25 minutes per game, but spot minutes here and there in which he can bring the energy, bring that spark with a big energy block or a big three on the other end, or just drive into the cup and getting a bucket. Those are the kind of plays which is going to get you minutes, you know what I'm trying to say. So honestly, what I saw from Jaden Springer was really impressive. Mo Bamba, skip. Paul Reed. Paul Reed was really good inside. Obviously, you know what you're getting from Paul Reed. Aggressive, assertive, grabbing balls. Would have been nice to see that 3-point shot a little bit, but hey, that's not really his role. That will come with time. I know they're working on that, but you always know what you're going to get with Paul Reed, so that's really just nothing new. Patrick Beverley, he showed me a little something offensively. I didn't realise Pat Bev had that much groove still in his legs offensively, hitting the too small on Jaylen Brown, cashing in on threes. Honestly, you know you're going to get from Patrick Beverley. You're going to have some games offensively where he's hot. You're going to have some games offensively where he's trash, but one thing he's going to bring is that defensive leadership, overall leadership, and accountability. I like the way Javonte Smart missed the three, came down the other end, there was a stoppage in play, and Pat Bev went straight over to him from the bench saying, keep shooting that, you're doing the right thing, young fella. That's the type of veteran presence you need to help the young guys stay grounded and also help them not lose confidence. So Patrick Beverley's influence is something that's really not going to go underlooked. So yeah, honestly, there's a lot of guys on this team that could get minutes. I'm not going to say we look better personnel wise, it's just a different system, a coach getting more out of what we already had plus the additions which we've made. So that's really good. Kelly Oubre is another guy who is the type of guy who's going to bring that spark. As in just today, with a couple putbacks, just being active, getting to the lane. His cutting is what I was really impressed with. It's a shame that James Harden's doing whatever, because James Harden, breaking down the defender, and Kelly Oubre cutting from the weak side, or James Harden and Kelly Oubre two-man game, or Oubre in a short roll. Those were things that I would have loved to see, but obviously that's not going to happen. But Kelly Oubre was a guy who did impress me quite a little bit, and again, you know what you're going to get with him. A high-energy guy is going to bring the roof down with some hammer jams, just be a guy who can really just cut and just be a vertical spacer too when you need him to be. So I'm really happy from what I've seen so far. But obviously, I'm not overreacting. I'm just saying what I saw, commentating on what I saw. I'm not saying these guys are the next coming of Jesus. I'm not saying they're going to be amazing. But from what I've seen, I'm happy. Obviously, you're not going to get this on a consistent basis. What's the team going to look like when Embiid is playing? There's an actual structure to the offense. Who knows? But so far, so good. So before you guys say you're overreacting on this, that, and the third, I'm not. Tobias Harris was just Tobias Harris. He's going to have quarters where he's hot. He's going to have quarters where he's not making anything. But I don't really care anymore to say anything. But the team looks all right. Like, at the end of the day, as I said earlier, it's about how Nick Nurse uses these guys. The personnel's pretty much the same, but it's how they're all utilised. One thing I would like to see develop is the centre situation. Obviously, Mo Bamba was just Mo Bamba. Paul Reed is what he is. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of divide up those minutes. Is Paul Reed going to be more of a solid power forward, which has been talked about a lot, but when it comes down to it, that actually be his position, who knows? But yeah, I'll just love to see a guy like Springer get incorporated into this just rotation, man, because the energy he brings is something we've not had for a long time. Like, what even is the closest thing we've had to this Jaden Springer skill set? I mean, TJ McConnell and Corey Brewer, but obviously Springer's a lot better than those two. Has a bit more offense to them, but just like them guards who are just gonna do the dirty work and be scrappy, and also just give you that spark just defensively. That's what I like to see. But yeah, man, that's really it. Like, I might go into more detail, this season, more play breakdowns coming true. I'm trying to level up my content, you feel me? But obviously, these are just my initial thoughts. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear why and what you have to say. But yeah, preseason, like I said 1,000 times, not overreacting at all, not underreacting, just saying it how it is. Not too optimistic about this season as a whole. But you know what? Nick Nurse might be able to change that. You get what I'm trying to say. But obviously, in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys think about this performance. Were you guys impressed, intrigued? And if so, what were you impressed and intrigued by? And if you were discouraged, let me know what you were discouraged by. Do you like the way the offense is looking? All that stuff there. But yeah. But I feel like Peyton Pritchard is a prime example of, it's not about the person on your roster, it's about how they use it when they get the opportunity, because that brother's out there looking like Steph Curry. I'm joking, obviously, but I'm just saying Peyton Pritchard now, they've made a lot of moves, could be a guy for that Celtic team who's getting a lot of opportunities. So there may be a guy who, like Jaden Springer or Daniel House, wasn't getting many looks, but under a new coach, I know in Pritchard's case it's a new coach, but with new opportunity, I should say, you might be able to see their skill set in a much higher magnitude, and you'll be able to see what they can do on a more consistent basis. So I'll be interested to see the type of role Jaden Springer and that could have. But yeah, that's honestly all I got today. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, all that stuff there. I'm a bit sick, so my bad if my voice sounds a bit, like I'm talking through my nose, so I genuinely do apologize. But long season ahead. Let's see what the Sixers are cooking up. Let's see what Daryl Morey's cooking up. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually excited. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. But obviously, thank you guys so much for listening. Stay blessed, my people. Stay tuned for more content, and I'm out. Peace.